I'm Super Antonio. And we're live. Greetings, friends. Happy Sunday. J-Lash with the thumbs ups. Appreciate you being here, J-Lash. And Miko Herptile, channel mod, says, hello, Super Antonio, Sadie mods, and everyone. We'll just be lurking in the background. Monday morning crunch time. Have a good stream, fellers. You too, Miko. I'm glad to be there for you when you're at work, and I hope I make your work day go a little bit faster. So, how is everyone? How's your Sunday going? How's your weekend? I hope you're ready for Monday. We're finishing the red lipstick murder, and we cancellation. Sorry, algorithm, and we are starting on the golden butterfly. So we'll do half of the golden butterfly. And I forgot. Callum's here. Callum, me boy. Callum is here. Greetings, Callum. Happy Sunday to you, friend. And I forgot to do the trivia from the LA Noire wiki concerning this case, which I'll do now. This case is highly influenced by the cancellation of Jean French. Jean French was a 45-year-old Army nurse who was discovered stripped and stomped to death in the early morning of February 1947. The case was never really officially solved, but it was supposedly linked to the infamous Black Dahlia because the initials BD were written with lipstick on French's dead body. And the murder took place, and the cancellation, algorithm, took place just weeks after the cancellation of Elizabeth Short, which also took place in 1947 Los Angeles. According to his overalls, Jacob Henry works for Hughes Aircraft, the company featured in Nicholson electroplating. That's forthcoming. Calm says, all good, Miko. Hopefully you have a good Monday, my friend. The ring removal wound is found on the left hand, while the photo in the bedroom of the Henry residence, Celine wears it on the right hand. Furthermore, Phelps mentions to McCall during his interrogation that the missing ring was torn from her finger, but not her wedding finger.
Burglar used a pry bar. Why did
the
you
actress
kick the door
that
in?
plays the neighbor
Think I'm gonna climb
also
through a
worked
broken
on Mad
window
Men.
in a $30 suit. You got another thing coming, Buster.
Let's see. Some of these are just glitches. At the crime scene, interesting, I didn't find this. The player can find a knife in the bushes. However, it is not relevant to the crime. Odog's here. Greetings, Odog. Appreciate you, friend. Thanks for being here. Happy Sunday. Odog has a bunch of lizard emoticons for our friend
Jacob are obviously having
Miko
problems.
in the
Speaks to motive.
southeast, the Far East.
Crime scene evidence.
Odog says, howdy to Callum and sup, Super Antonio. And Callum says, Odog, good to see you. How was your Sunday?
Back of my hand.
Call in burglary and get technical services out here. I'll talk to the neighbors.
Don't take all day
Yeah,
about it.
so anyways,
Get nasty when I'm
that's the
thirsty.
trivia we have for the red lipstick murder. Cancellation, sorry, algorithm. Our last LA Noire stream got demonetized. What's that about?
Isn't he the cop who won a medal in solving all the
Odog
cases?
says, just finished a movie. First viewing of The Warriors. I love that movie. I love New York in the 70s. You know, just like the taxi driver in New York. The fighting, for me personally, doesn't hold up. You know, it's like it's very 70s. It seems very projected. It's very stuntman-y. It's very TV action. You know, it's not John Wick, but still, I love the idea of these costumed gangs and that, you know, this criminal underworld, you know, much like John Wick, where, you know, it's like just this subculture, this world beneath our world, on the subways. You know, I love how the radio station DJ was tied into it. And what else? Great soundtrack. One of the funniest comments I saw. I watched a a fight scene with the Baseball Furies, and from that movie, the Baseball Furies. They wear what I assume are all the gangs have themes, you know, and they wear costumes, except the Warriors. The Warriors just have like a leather vest, you know, and everyone's
LAPD.
skinny because it's the
Are you
70s.
acquainted
But
with
the
Celine
Baseball
Henry?
Furies,
Horgan.
I assume they're
Jennifer
wearing
Horgan.
New York
I've
Yankee
known Celine
baseball
for more
uniforms.
than 10 years. Our children grew up
O-Dog,
together.
you can correct me
What's going
on
on,
that if
officer?
I'm wrong.
Did you
And then
see
they've got
Mrs.
like
Henry go
black
out
and white
last night?
face makeup
Well,
that is very
I'm no busybody,
very
you
reminiscent of
understand,
Kiss. But you know, they're not doing
Celine
Kiss
had been
makeup, but
drinking,
it's the same
and
kind of
she
style.
and poor,
And they fight
long-suffering
with
Jacob
baseball
had a terrible
bats.
row. I think Jacob
What's
may have
that
given her a
about?
black
Because the
eye.
weapons are themed
He
as well.
stormed out and she went back inside.
One of the comments
come
was
back?
this movie
No.
is 50%
Celine was
running and
listening to music and
50%
shouting
fighting,
until she left
which
around
is
10 p.m.
which was
She
really
was
funny if
very
you've seen the
drunk to have
movie
been
because the
driving.
Warriors
But she is not the
they
sort of person
run
you
a
can
lot
stop from doing something
all
when her
over
dander is up.
Manhattan.
What is this about, officer? Is Celine all right?
Yeah, it's a
I'm
good
afraid
movie.
Mrs.
I
Henry
enjoy
has
it,
been murdered, ma'am.
but you know,
Murdered?
it is dated in places.
Oh my God. I'm afraid I need to
got my
go
green
and
tea.
sit down.
I'm queuing up the trivia for the Golden Butterfly, even though we're only going to do about half of it tonight.
Let's see what Jacob has to say for himself.
I don't think Jacob's
O-Dog
our
says,
man.
yeah, it was a
He has
Yankees
to say.
reference. Yeah, I assumed. And O-Dog is talking about the assets
Jacob
of
Henry
her,
had a violent
of his
argument
friend,
with his wife
his
last
lady
night.
friend,
It's looking more and more likely.
and he has
For my money,
2 melon
God
emoticons,
keep the house
2
looking like that's probably
coconuts,
deserved.
and 2 milk
Skipper
bottles.
says bring him in. Keep the hacks off our backs.
I wonder what all those
Fine by
would
me.
have in
So it
common.
ain't the werewolf killer after all. Good to see you
not
come
sure.
to your senses, Cole.
I always said work the
But,
evidence.
I always
only
have
stipulated a
milk
connection
bottles
to the
on my
BB
mind.
killer as an avenue of investigation we should leave open. And as far
Callum
as I'm
says, Sadie
concerned, it
looking
still is.
tired. And O-Dog says, sorry, such language with Sadie here. She's not paying attention. She's very tired. She is, Callum. She's had a long day. Oh, O-Dog says, Super Antonio, 1 is bigger than your entire head. Wow. That is a very, that's, shout out to O-Dog, channel member and channel moderator, for reminding me of Hitomi Tanaka and my high school misadventures.
Easy.
That's Hitomi Tanaka big, O-Dog. I congratulate you and Godspeed, you magnificent bastard with an E. What was I going to say? So I spent all day fooling around with AI again, of course. You know, I'm really enjoying that process, and we're not going to take the channel in that direction, but we are going to be doing
Okay, Phelps,
some
you're
more
going
AI
hard. Follow
content,
my
you know,
lead.
especially on Twitter, X-Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll put some of it, you know, in the community posts. Like today in the
Jacob
community
Henry?
post, we have Arthur riding
LAPD.
a giant
You're under
flying
arrest for the murder
squirrel,
of your wife, Celine Henry.
you know, referencing Peanut the squirrel,
Celine?
and says,
Saves the dramatics for RKO,
and
pal. You
the
gotta
caption
dig
is,
for
let's you cancel this squirrel.
hell are you
Callum
talking
says,
about?
sounds like a handful, O-Dog.
You come in
More
here,
than
you tell me
more
that
than a
Celine is-
handful,
Take a seat,
Callum.
Mr.
More than a
Henry.
double
We're gonna have a look
handful.
around, then we'll talk.
Jesus.
What's that about?
sorry,
That's America for you, Callum. Everything's bigger over here. Then I have a really cute, attractive picture of Sadie in New Austin with a raptor in the background. She's actually riding a raptor as well, looking at her phone. And the caption of that one was, Sadie went to the future by accident, and now she's addicted to this fancy new shiny glass brick telegraph. And I like that. I made one of Wonder Woman in Tokyo looking at her phone, but it just, you know, because I like the anachronism of pulling a modern element into the picture, but it just, the Wonder Woman just looked like a cosplayer checking her phone, so it didn't work. So we had to have a raptor in the background. It works a lot better in the Old West. And I like the idea that Sadie is like every other girl and she's addicted to her phone. Then I have Sadie on a flying raptor with a sniper shooty bang. And the caption of that was, "Keep her steady."
The oldest problem there is. What to do
Odog
about
says,
the old
people
lady."
really slept on this game, but I think it's really beautiful. I think it came out a year too late. It was a PS3 launch, I think. Yes, it was, Odog. I agree, it's underrated, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to play. If it's I don't think it really appealed to their base audience. I don't think there's enough action for them. I mean, it's not exactly an intellectual game, but there's there's a lot of puzzle aspects to it that some viewers may find frustrating. And Odog says, "DeCallum takes 2 to handle, just 1, and we shall convert the chat back to PG-13. Thank you, Odog. I appreciate that, friend. But Sadie moved her crate, so she's fine. Calum says, agreed. I thought this game
So
was
who could've
quite
killed Celine?
quite
Where did
new
she go last
with
night?
how good the graphics and the character design is in the game. And Odog says, I think Rockstar botched it on the advertising end. And those puzzles
You
were
know where
frustrating.
she went, Jacob. You're lying. Why
Calum
would
says, I
help
like
you
the
if you keep
background
lying
music
to
in
me?
this game.
Look,
Me too.
I'm telling you,
1940s.
No.
Hugo Moeller is the suspect here. He's the husband. It's always the husband.
We know she went to the Mamba Club.
Very German
bartender
name. There's a
there.
lot of German
He calls me if
immigrants
things are getting out of
in this
hand,
game
and I
post
go
World
and
War
I
II.
Bring her home.
I don't think he's an immigrant, but he's
called me last
German
night.
American, and he's going to get.
I said no.
He's the
Phone rang a couple
obvious
more times
suspect.
after that.
He's not the suspect
I
Captain
ignored it.
Donnelly wants prosecuted. If you want a a
to live
4-star
with
rating
that.
or a gold rating or whatever it is, you can't arrest this guy. But
When
this
did you
guy is
last see
also
your wife,
innocent,
Mr. Henry?
which we'll find out
Last
later.
night.
Spoiler alert.
I went to see her. We
Tony
talked.
Vasquez is here.
Got a little
And
out of
he
hand.
agrees. Rusty always makes the husband for it. Yes, good old Finbar. But,
You don't
I
remember
think
what time you
statistically he's
last saw your
correct. And
wife's
cops,
Look,
as far as I know, just play the
Sorry.
odds. It's always the,
I
you
left.
have to ask the spouse first,
Maybe
where were you?
9
just
p.m.
in order to eliminate you from the pool of
Might have been a
suspects.
little later, but
And if you say something
around
like, "Well, I was with my mistress and she's my,"
Why did you kill her, Jacob? Things will
we
go
were
better if you
having
come clean
dinner
about
at
it.
the time of the cancellation
That's a lousy
officer,
thing
and
to
I'm
say.
sure we can, that
I
like
never-
moves you to the top of the list.
gave up on my wife.
Odog says, desperately
Don't believe
need
you,
a
Jacob.
second LA
I think you
Noir.
have the guts to do it
And
yourself, so
Tony
you had
says,
someone
hi,
else do it.
y'all. Greetings,
You want to
Tony.
back that up with something,
Thanks for
Big
being here,
Mouth?
friend.
Huh?
Appreciate you. Callum says, hey,
Note on
Tony.
the phone suggests you meant her harm.
You want the truth? Truth is, I was sick to death of her. I was trying to have her committed.
Odog says,
still gonna need
recognized
you
a
to
few
calm down,
faces
Tom.
from the Warriors. 2 or 3 made it to
We get
48
this all
hours
down
with
on
Eddie
tape.
Murphy. The kid who
How you
was
got
got
that with your
arrested
wife,
by the
how you
hooker
figured
was the
you
main
could
antagonist in
really
48 hours.
Kill my own wife?
He was a lush and a tramp, and you just couldn't stand it anymore.
Shut your
Yeah, that, and
goddamn
then,
mouth.
So now you're gonna tell me you loved
what's
her?
that guy's name?
Ah,
The Warriors Come Out to
Diegos,
Play
I'll
guy?
bill you over remorse,
He
Jake.
played, he played a lot of,
Not being
bad
rational.
guys. And he was in Commando.
good for you,
I let him go as Scully. I let him go.
What's this bunkum?
Odog says, and one of the cops was Hugo and the Jeffersons. Moving on up, Odog, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. I couldn't figure out how to fight. It was a matter of I had Red Dead reflexes, and I kept spamming circles, which does nothing. You gotta lock on. You gotta L2 and then X. which makes no sense. X means running.
We're still gonna need you to come downtown, Mr. Henry.
We can get this all down on paper, Jacob. How you got fed up with your wife and how you figured killing her would bury all your troubles.
Kill my own wife?
She was a lush and a tramp, and you just couldn't stand it anymore.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
So now you're gonna tell
Walter
me you
Hill
loved her?
was the director
DA goes all
of the
gooey
Warriors, I
over
believe,
remorse.
and he had a great career. Co-wrote Apocalypse
awful hot under
Now.
the collar for an innocent man, Mr.
Scarface, I believe.
Doesn't look good for you, Jacob.
Directed Conan the Barbarian.
What's this pumpkin?
And by all accounts, he was a Hollywood wild man. Very pro Second Amendment. Odog says, desperately need news on Rockstar Games besides Grand Theft Auto 6, which we will not get, Odog, because that's all they're working on. Gosh darn it, Cole. There, I'm trying to figure out, how are you supposed to fight in this dumb game? Odog says, why did the stream get demonetized? Absolutely no... You know, they never give you a reason, Odog. And I didn't fight it because it only has 61 views, so, you know, whatever. But it wasn't for naughty bits. You know, I might have said something overtly political, or I think I made a bundle of sticks joke, and that might be considered homophobic.
We're still gonna need you to come downtown,
Yeah,
Mr. Henry.
you know, there might,
We can get this
you know,
all
it
down on
might have
paper,
been a
Jacob.
stream of
How
hate.
you got fed up with your
A
wife
hate
and how you
stream.
figured killing her would bury all your troubles.
I don't hate any, you know, it's like,
Kill my own
I don't
wife?
hate,
She was
but
a
I don't
lush
see
and a
why you
tramp,
can't,
and you just couldn't stand it anymore.
Shut your
you know, there's,
goddamn mouth.
So now you're
there's
gonna
a
tell me you
show
loved
called,
her?
S,
The DA goes all
you know,
gooey over remorse, Jake.
rhymes with mitts. White people say. Mitts, white people say. But can you imagine a show called Mitts, black people say? You know, I don't like the hypocrisy. I don't like how you're allowed to be racist to one group, the whites, and you're not allowed to be, you know, it's either everyone or no one. And the same with the rainbow people,
Call it in and get a squad car
the rainbow
dispatch.
connection.
And check for messages. I'll keep old slug.
Odog says, as
company.
bad as FB, yes, you know, it's like, I know it's a different company, and I do have Google stock. Google stock is rock solid. I
Operator,
highly
give me
recommend it.
dispatch.
Not as financial advice, you know. If you got a spare $300, just park it in there,
Phelps,
and
1247.
you know, at the end of the year, you will have
Can I help, Detective?
$400.
I need a patrol unit to transport a suspect back to Central.
Certainly, Detective.
Tony Vasquez says, Phelps using the Rocky Balboa method of blocking with his face.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I apologize, Tony Vasquez. I had Red Dead reflexes during this playthrough, and I kept, you know, I just automatically would hit circle,
cause of
which
death
does
was blood.
nothing,
No, the blows
and then
to
I,
the head
you know,
surprisingly
it was
not
funny.
fatal. Death was from hemorrhage and shock from the fractured ribs and multiple injuries caused by the stomping.
Anything
Well,
else?
it was, you know, it was funny for
Some kind
me.
of sex fiend. The tissues of the anus were bruised about 1/8 of an inch. but
So
no
yeah,
trace was
fooling
seen
around
in
in
the anus,
AI
vagina, or stomach.
with AI.
Thanks, Doc.
I use
Operator, give
in
me
case
our
you're
guy.
interested, I use
I need a registered owner
I
on a
use
license plate
X-Witter, Elon's AI.
2188899.
It's called Grok.
Yes, Detective.
It is the
I'll need
least
to contact the DMV.
woke
Shall I
of all
relay the
AIs.
details via KGPL?
Like if you
Please.
ask it to
Any
make
other
a pretty woman, pretty Sadie Adler, they're gonna give you a pretty Sadie Adler. You know, conventionally beautiful woman, you know, symmetrical face.
Got it. We're coming in.
You know, you can like, and you can specify races if you want, but you know, it's like. But yeah, on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, I have, today I put up okay, Arthur on the flying squirrel, Arthur hunting a
11K,
woolly
go ahead.
mammoth. And that one says, the caption of that one is, is Charles is going to be so upset when he finds out. And I'm going to make a short of Arthur and Sadie hunting, chasing, and riding woolly mammoths. And then Sadie on her phone.
Yeah.
He could be at that, but you
And
don't
then-
want to cross the skipper, Phelps. Not a great move
Odoc
the
says
first day.
Cole was a boxer, I
Want
think.
Henry
Did he box in the
re-interviewed.
military? Can't remember. He did. But he understands the
said she
fight,
took a real
and he had that issue too.
If we survive
Cole
this,
is
it's gonna be a miracle.
most famous for his driving, however. And then on X-Twitter, because
Maybe
I had
if he
to
had
do
been
it,
a little firmer in the beginning, he wouldn't be in this situation
I'm
now.
going there. I got a like
I imagine
too.
that Neanderthal routine is a big hit with the ladies, Galloway.
I took
Women
where is
love
he?
me, Phelps.
I have
have no
President
complexity. They know
47.
exactly
I
what
don't
they're
know
gonna
if
get.
we're allowed to say his name on this stream, but he should have been wearing a red cowboy hat. I'll do it again with a red cowboy hat, but he's wearing a black cowboy hat and riding a Raptor in New Austin. And I wrote, I had to do it. And I'm going to do it again with a red cowboy hat because but it's, it is, honestly, it is not as much fun now that he won. It was more fun when, on the days, weeks, and years leading up to this moment when the left was more upset about things. They're still upset, but now it just seems like poor sportsmanship to gloat. Even though, if they won, they would have gloated.
We have a firm lead, Captain.
Are you questioning my
Are you
judgment?
questioning my judgment, young Phelps?
Good. I thought not.
Yeah.
Jacob Henry is a sub-sister pushed around by his wife. I think with the right kind of persuasion, he might be prepared to seek absolution.
Oh, this isn't Hugo Muller. Sorry, I apologize.
Are
This is
you
Jacob
prepared to
Henry.
show him the error of his ways, young Phelps?
Are you prepared to show him the error of his ways?
Don't drag me into this.
Rusty is
I love
effective
Captain
and
Phelps. He's my favorite
Bird in hand has always worked too in the
captain
bush.
in this game.
Let's
He's just
liberate a confession
he's
from
just
Bird.
so hard-nosed and Irish and corrupt. I think
Run
this
along now, Phelps.
you start noticing the corruption in the police department with when he gets to homicide.
Grand jury case got thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
Doesn't look good, Jacob. You're in a big jam here. You lie to me, and I can't help you out. Do you understand me?
Yes.
What do you do for work, Jacob?
I'm a mechanic.
And I
Engines,
forgot I
differentials,
promised to put
kind of
Cole
stuff.
Phelps on a
So you
A
have
Raptor.
access to tools.
Yes, I do.
so I'm making a note of it
Your
now.
wife was brutally beaten with a socket wrench handle, then stomped to death. How do you think that looks, Jacob?
I was home in bed.
You're full of shit, Jacob. The truth is you hated that bitch. You followed her and dragged her into the car and then took her out to the moors. She woke
Yeah,
up and you
but
smashed her
the
face
big
in
news,
with
I
a
guess,
socket wrench.
is
No,
I'm having so much fun
Then you
with
stomped
the
her. You stomped her because she's a drunken
with the
whore, and
absurdity
she
of
treated
AI
you like shit.
and the images you
stomped
can
her for
create.
all the
And if
years you had
if
to
I like
take it.
invested
You
in
stomped her
actual
because you are
in
such
an
a
actual
weak
program,
fucking
we can make
sister, Jacob,
videos.
and you wanted to erase all
We'll
memory
give you
of it.
like
Go on.
you
Try
can
to-
animate these illustrations.
I was at home. I should have gone to her at the bar, but I didn't. You can't
But
prove I wasn't home.
it's not doing great on the channel so far. I mean, the Sadie short didn't do great. We'll try it again with Arthur, and we'll
Ken,
see.
the bar owner, McCall, gave you up. He called
Tony
your house
says,
right at
"Dang,
the time
Phelps
that
going
someone
hard
was
in this
smashing Celine's
interrogation."
skull
Yeah.
in and got no answer. If we find that
That
socket
young
wrench, you're gonna
Phelps,
fry.
he's
Get it off your chest. Tell me you killed her.
he's eager to close this
I
case.
killed her, all right. I killed her dreams. She was an aviator, famous in her day, flying around up there like a bird, but she never wanted to come back down. You know, my pop was a sod farmer, dirt poor. I joined
Calum
the
says,
Corps,
was
trained
just
to be a
about to say
mechanic.
the
I
same
did
thing,
better
Tony.
than
He's
my
really
father
going
did.
through
I worked
him.
hard for it. It's all you can ask of a man. But Celine, she never wanted to come down from the clouds. She wanted everything I couldn't give her. All I had was security. I was never going to be.
Odoc, did you stream
You
The
did it.
Warriors, or
Everything
did
points
you
to
have a Blu-ray or
What
a
does
DVD?
text mean, Jacob?
I don't know what you're talking
Because
about.
they just released a 4K version, and it is beautiful. It pops. They did a great
I didn't
restoration.
mean to believe you, Jacob.
You want to confess?
I mean, depending on your TV. resolution, I suppose.
That's exactly what we want.
Seems to me there are two types of marriages. First, where the couple love
I was
each other
watching
deeply
Tom
and
Cruise's
everything's roses.
Edge of Tomorrow, which is
there's
also
the other.
called Live, Die, Repeat,
Or one person
based
loves
on a
the other more
graphic
than life
novel.
itself and always
I
puts
think
them
it's from the
first.
2010s,
Chumps like
but it's
me.
really good.
Love 'em
Science
no matter what,
fiction.
no matter how badly they behave.
It's kind of like Groundhog Day. He's
That's
reliving the day over and
That's
over.
my
But
confession. I
what it
love
really
my
is,
wife.
on its most basic level,
take
is
any
a
test
live
you
action video game where he's just replaying the same scene over and
marriage was
over and
over.
getting better
You
and
took her
better
ring
and
and she
better
threw
at
it
it.
back in your face.
Gets he, you know, he's
You
like,
didn't go over
he's
there
got a
with
mech suit and he's fighting
got out of
aliens.
hand.
It's not how
Emily
it was.
Blunt's in it. Mama One is here. Everyone say hi to Mama One. Odog said, stream. It's on Hulu. Okay, well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself,
Falling apart. and things got
Pop
violent.
I'm not
Odog,
lying.
and
I'm
I
telling
hope
you
you
how it
weren't
was.
distracted by Bath Lady elements, Bath Lady assets.
Jenny
Papa
Thornton
One is here
says,
also.
blackened her eye.
Papa One says, "Hey family, greetings, Papa One. Happy Sunday."
In your shoes, I would have done exactly the same.
Callum says, "Hey Mama
hit
One
her.
and Papa One, good to
right?
see you both." Mama One
proud
says,
of it, but she was coming at me
actually
with a
Mama
frying
One,
pan. What
Super
would you do?
Antonio says,
Took it for years. But
"What's for dinner?"
sometimes a man can only
I
take
had
so
pizza
much.
salad with a Reese's
Why did you
peanut
break
butter
into your
cup
wife's house,
for
Jacob?
dessert.
Why steal the ring?
What?
A neighbor gave me some leftover
talking
Halloween
about?
candy,
I've got
and
a
I was
key.
very
Why would I need to break
grateful
in?
to her.
You took the ring because you found out who gave it to her.
What are you talking about?
Her prize.
Callum says,
garnet
"Hey, Mama
ring
One and
given
Papa One,
her
good
by
to
her
see you
old
both."
Boyfriend, Dick McCall.
Odog, I'm tempted to get Hulu because there's a Fox comedy
I lived with that
series
woman
called
for
"What We
3
Do in the
years.
Shadows" on it. It's about a bunch of
never knew
vampires
that.
living in on Long Island.
In
Have
that
you
case,
seen that?
I think you should be talking to Dick McCall.
I
We'll do
watched
the
the
detective
Australian
work, Ted.
version.
Just answer
It's
the
really
question.
funny, and I've seen like
I'll
you
see
know
what I can do for you, Jacob.
parts of it,
But I'm not promising.
funny
It still looks
segments
bad
from
for you.
on YouTube, but
Phelps,
makes me tempted to get
You
Hulu.
failed me, son.
Maybe next year.
We have another lead. Captain.
Odog says
This guy
rotisserie
Mendez could
chicken,
be our man.
rice,
hope so,
turnip
fellas.
greens, and cornbread. Oh, that
really
sounds
hope so.
delicious, Odog. Much better than
I'm
what I
deeply
had.
disturbed by your style of police work.
And Odog was a good boy this time, and I'm not going to read the next part of that sentence because because Mama One is here, and Sadie might still be listening. Odog says Super Antonio Disney Plus comes with Hulu bundle. Interesting. I did not realize that. Odog. Callum says, all good, Mama One. Spent some more time with family today, just chilling with the dogs and having a smoke. And Callum had a roast dinner. Yes, it's Sunday. So Callum had Sunday roast. Did you have Yorkshire pudding?
We could still pull down a conviction
Callum?
for the skipper if we chase down this Mendez guy.
Tony says it was my turn to cook, so KFC. Tony Vasquez, there's an Asian dish, might be a Hawaiian dish, but it's one of my favorites.
Just go easy, Phelps.
And it's just called KFC fried chicken. So what you do, if you have a rice burner, is you take your rice and you put it in there with your water, okay? And then you put some KFC chicken on top of that. No, you sprinkle some soy sauce in the water first, okay? Then you put some KFC chicken on top of that, and then you cook the rice as usual. And then, you know, you can when it's finished, you can flake off the
Alonzo
chicken with like
Mendez.
2 forks.
Sound like a man who
and
moonlights as the
and
werewolf?
Don't sound like a man I'd let my
it tastes delicious. Just this KFC chicken infused rice. It's like a childhood comfort food for me. I haven't had it since I moved here. I don't think, because I don't know where a KFC is.
Gently.
But yeah, I used to love that growing up, and I highly recommend it. You know, if you have leftovers, you're supposed to do it with leftovers. And Callum is discussing technique with Odog.
Mendez.
And Calum says, yeah, we had the Yorkshire puddings. Always have to have them on the plate. And some gammon for the meat. Was very nice. Gammon. What's gammon in freedom?
Here, the apartment's up on the top floor.
Oh, it's a ham that has been cured or smoked, like bacon. Okay. Mama one says, we took the day easy, Callum, fed the animals, and had friends over to PewDiePie and have a meal, rabbit stew. And Callum says, that's nice, Mama one, just another chill Saturday for all of us. Did you see Sadie Girl?
Take a look around and see what you can find.
Mama one. She ran away because O-Dog was being naughty. Say hi to Mama one and Papa one and O-Dog and Callum and Miko and Tony Vasquez. Tell everyone else to like and subscribe. Papa one says, we had a fun time today, Callum. Wish you could have been here. Had some friends over and tested different shooty bangs, including percussion pistols. One of the new farmhands had never field tested a percussion pistol. Mama one asks, how was the roast, Callum? Callum says, that sounds fun, Papa one. Could have been there for that. And wish I could have been there for that and the food and the company. Mama one says, I made rabbit stew, cornbread, noodles, corn on the cob, and peach cobbler. And she says hello to you.
Consistent with Celine's injuries.
She would love peach cobbler. I don't think she's ever had it. I know she's never had it. Callum says, it was delicious, Mama one. Lots of vegetables, meat, and Yorkshire puddings. And O-Dog is laughing and smiling. Well, he had a good day. And he's sowing his wild oats. What's that about? More power to you, O-Dog. Godspeed.
Better get Pinker down here.
Why keep it? Why not throw it away?
Think these
Papa
clowns
one
are
says,
geniuses? Thank your stars you caught a break.
yes,
Captain
it
Donald
would have
begin to
been
like
a great time, son. Yorkshire pudding sounds great. And Carly says, Super Antonio, is it true that Red Dead Redemption 2 is getting flying squirrels in the next update? Yes, it is absolutely true, Cloudy. And I'm going to report on it and make videos on it. But mostly, it's raptors and woolly mammoths and flying bison. I'm having so much fun with the AI illustrations, Cloudy. Not exactly going to take the channel in that direction unless it gets more traction, but it's definitely going to be a part of my X-Twitter and Instagram. It's, it makes me laugh. It doesn't seem to be making anyone else laugh, but that's okay. If I have to laugh, or I'll cry. The tears of a clown. Callum says birthday on the 27th this month, I guess. It's getting closer day by day. Happy birthday, Callum. And O-Dog has cloud emoticons for Cloudy. And Papa one says, oh, wow, Callum, I'm sure you're gonna party it up. Brown Derby, it's iconic. That restaurant is in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's the one where Rick meets Al Pacino as the producer. That one, that I believe was the Brown Derby. O-Dog says, what kind of driving are you doing? We're Cole's at the wheel and thinks he's back in the war. No, O-Dog says that's Serena.
Get him next to my window, Cole.
Some of it's deliberate, some of it is just, unfamiliar with the terrain and the controls, and but it's a lot of fun. Mama one says, did you ever want to be Detective Super Antonio? I'm sure Sadie would have been a great police dog. Not really. I've had a lot of experience. I've had a lot of friends who were in law enforcement from my martial arts and boxing, and I dated a young lady who was an undercover
Wish me luck.
narcotics officer, technically a detective, and she was a tiny little thing, and she would play. She specialized in playing special medicine
You're under arrest for the murder
addicts.
of Celine Henry.
You know,
Put your hands where I can see them.
I was always worried for her. And that's, you know, that's ultimately why we broke up, is I could not stand, you know, I was just always worried. But, you know, cops always cops pretty much date other cops. But I met her in, you know, in Kung Fu. But, but no, it's never appealed to me. Just dealing with criminals all day long. How can you not take that home with you? You know, dealing with like the worst of humanity. But also, I suppose, you know, you live for like the moments where you can, you know, when you can be a hero, when you can like make a difference and, you know, save someone's life. But, you know, I enjoy crime dramas and mysteries, but it's never been something I wanted to do. But yeah, she does seem to enjoy investigating many, many things.
Brutality on a scale such as this deserves retribution. The people.
And Papa says, "Oh dog, it's called drunk driving." Call me, boy. Have you been drinking before shift? You know my thoughts on that, Milado. Miko says, "LOL" at the Serena driving reference. Case report. We only did 3K in vehicle damage. Distinguished. And Miko's been in the background lurking. What's that about? And Mama One says, yes, indeed, she would be a great hunting dog. Calm says, Sadie is a good sniffer. Yes, she is. She's a very tired sniffer. Cloudy says, Super Antonio, I made some Red Dead Redemption 2 Fallout and Vampire AI images. They looked so cool. What program did you use, Cloudy? And did you put it up anywhere where I can see it? And Papa One says, Miko, glad you made it here tonight. And Mama One says, hey, Miko. Callum says, love looking at the moon when I'm having a, I don't know if I can say that. When I'm relaxing, especially the cold air. Papa One says 3K in damage in 1946 would be around Cole's yearly salary. Yeah, but you know, a city will pick that up.
He's my partner.
You know, Captain Donnelly has a special fund. You know, it's all in the name of crime and justice.
Female dumped in plain sight in the grass at the end of Hill Street. Hacks are all over.
Cloudy says, I used Canva. I've never heard of Canva. What's Canva when it's at home, and how much does it cost?
No assumptions until you've seen the evidence. Skipper wants you
Free to use graphic online tool.
I think I know the place where they found the lady.
Interesting. It's
It overlooks
Australian,
Sunset Boulevard.
Serena.
Let's go.
Let me see some pictures. I've been using Grok, Elon's AI. For me, Grok seems to be the least woke of all the AIs out there. And Kali says, Calum says, what's the weather like where you and Mama One live? Papa One. Papa One says, I'd be canceled so quick as a YouTuber. Only if you live stream, Papa One. The live stream rules are different than just uploading videos. You can upload all the shooty bangs you want, you know, and I would recommend it because I'd like to see them. And you can call it, you know, exactly what they are. You know, it's like, you just can't show them on the live stream.
That's one clearance under your belt.
Hodak says, same here. I'd always be in trouble.
And No assumptions until we see the evidence, right?
Right. See, I knew you were a fast learner, Phelps. You might get along after all.
I get the point.
You're not helping.
Now, boys, you know as much
Captain
as I do.
Donnelly with the
I'll be holding a press conference once
glad
the
handling the
autopsy's been
press.
I have two of my finest investigators on the case. Fresh
Mom
from
one
bringing
says,
down the sword
"It is
of
chilly
justice
tonight,
into
Callum.
today's
Chilly and
sensitive
rainy,
times.
but it is
Aren't there
peaceful and
similarities
nice to
between
be
this murder
outside
and the murder of
when it's
Celine
not
Henry
raining."
and of
Callum says
Elizabeth
currently
Short for
5
the-
degrees here, and I'm in a top-end shorts. What's 5 degrees in freedom?
We have the greatest police force in
5
all the world with the greatest
degrees
scientific investigators at our
Celsius.
disposal. How can any killer continue to be
41. That is cold. Okay, golden butterfly trivia. This case is heavily based on the real-life cancellation of Dorothy Montgomery in May of 1947. Her case was connected to Elizabeth Short, Black Dahlia, as well as the Jeannie French red lipstick case.
What do we have, Captain?
Dorothy was mutilated, which is why authorities first thought there was a connection to Elizabeth Short's cancellation. A golden butterfly brooch was found near her body, which had been torn from her blouse. And this case is called the butterfly cancellation.
Olive oil comes from Holland. Where's baby oil come from?
Advice? You find her, Gonzalez?
Not me. The family out for a stroll. I was first.
Oh, this is interesting. If a
And
player
show me
heads
the
straight to
body.
Belmont High School after arresting Hugo Moeller, instead of going to the coroner's, they will see an alternate cutscene showing Eli Rooney spying on 2 girls. Yeah, I got that cutscene. We won't see it in this episode. Now I've got to
Can't be much help to
watch
you,
and make
Phelps.
sure that we got rid of all the naughty bits. Speaking of,
She is.
nope, we didn't. Sorry.
The stomping angle in the Henry case. Was it reported in the press?
Last stream got demonetized, even though it had no naughty bits. We'll see what happens with this one.
Similar remote.
To what? The Dahlia? I don't think so.
Celine Henry.
That's a closed case. This is probably
Callum
another
says, "I'm
sad
used to the
sack
cold
who
weather
lost
and
his
rain
temper
by
when
now,
God wouldn't
being
put
where
out.
I'm from.
a suspect,
So I'd be
Rusty?
sat
Watch your
outside
mouth,
in that
though.
for ages, Mama One. I
All I'm
like the
saying
cool
is you got enough
breeze."
to do without reopening
And
closed
Papa One says,
cases.
"Yeah, Mama
Talk me
One
through it, Mal."
already says I curse and say not nice things to farmhands. I just could care less about people's
Size of the
feelings.
footprints would seem
I'm
to
old.
indicate a smallish men's
If I
shoe.
was food, I'd be expired." Mama One says,
Finished?
No,
"It rains a
not.
lot in Ireland. At
At a
least
glance,
that's
I
what
would say
I've been told."
strangulation was the cause of death.
Callum
Unequal
One says,
further
Callum
tests
says,
of
"Very
severity.
true, Mama One. There's
Angry
almost not
boyfriend.
one day
They
where
were
there's
married,
no
they'd
rain,
get home.
although it hasn't
Not
rained
humping
today,
out here in
luckily."
Lover's Lane.
You mind
And
if I
Odog
examine
says,
the
"There
body?
goes the
My
stream, lol. Yeah, what can you do,
Mark
Odog?
is very
I got most of them."
I'll do some comparisons back at the lab and get back to you.
Cole sneaks them in sometimes,
smart.
but you have to
Cut
get
on the
these ones
finger.
because they're
Fourth
clues.
finger, left hand, a wedding or engagement ring, violently removed.
Papa One says, "This mission is quickly becoming Super Antonio's arch enemy." Well, you know, Ellie Noire streams and Grand Theft Auto streams almost automatically get demonetized. Papa One.
Well, we have a name.
So,
Can you run
you know, what
Deirdre
can you
Muller
do?
by RNI?
Back in a second.
If the motive was robbery, why not take the money?
Calum says it just went down 3 degrees, so it's 37 degrees Fahrenheit.
Detective.
That's almost
RNI says
freezing.
that Deirdre Mahler of 130 North Bonnie Bray was reported missing this morning by her
Calum
husband.
says, "Yep, Mama One,
day,
although we
another
sometimes
dollar.
get a
Did I
good
tell
week
you?
with no rain."
Grab the husband, take him downtown, and work him
Okay,
over.
that's
Have
we're
his
through the
wife
worst
by
of it.
lunchtime.
We can go now.
What about not making assumptions
You
and
can
going on
open
the
your eyes
evidence?
again. And it's not,
This is awful. Just awful.
you know, I love the female form. But, you know, it's like these are like brutal, you know, scary, horrific images. You know, crime scene photos essentially come to life. Not the kind of female form I want to see. And also, I think we see too much of the female form. I don't think we are meant, as men, to have this much access. I think it
Just go easy,
I
pal.
think it's changing our psyche, and I think it changed
playing the boyfriend angle.
our
I thought we were on our way to lock up the husband.
That's awesome.
He doesn't work out.
Deirdre Muller has suffered
I
enough.
think it
more than enough. You shouldn't make disparaging comments about her without even the
it
slightest
certainly
inkling
changed
of what she was
the
like.
moral
She was a woman,
character,
wasn't she?
character of our
Around about
world.
my third divorce, I realized women might not be the pure angels we
And
imagine.
the youth of today
You're married,
don't know
ain't
any
you, Phelps?
different.
Don't
difference,
make any
Callum.
insinuations about my wife.
But it's not your fault.
Hey, she's a woman.
She's the mother of my children.
The internet is
You're
the
a father, Cole?
is
Don't tell me
concurrently
your
the
eyes don't
greatest and the worst
conversation
achievement
is
of in human history. You've got all of human knowledge, you know, available at your fingertips on your phone, but you know, it's everything. Callum says, that's fair enough, Pop One. Sometimes the cold does get too much, so I'm with you on that. Miko says, looks like another typhoon is on the way for us.
Breathe, damn
That's
it.
the tropics for you. Okay, well, batten down the hatches, Miko. You take care of your pets and your loved ones, and I know you have processes in place to deal with that.
Watch where you're driving, you maniac.
Papa One says, makes the head and bones ache. I'm pretty much made of metal. I'm closest thing to Iron Man this world has seen. My son used to tease me about being a metalhead since I never liked that genre too
Thanks
much.
for the tip.
Moving on with the trivia, if Mueller is charged, we're not going to charge Mueller. Donnelly will say, I have to say I'm disappointed. I stood in front of a troop of reporters and made promises of swift and fearful retribution, and you bring me an armful of vagary and happenstance. You made the department look bad, lad. Do it again, and your career as a policeman will come to an abrupt and ignominious end. You two are back on the streets. Find street criminals, roust them, beat them, and restore some fervor to your police work. Your next case will come when you've revived my faith in your abilities. Now get out of here. Now get out of here, young Callum. But no, we will arrest the correct person who is not the right person. Neither of these suspects, spoiler alert, are guilty. They're guilty of many things, but not this crime.
Watch it, will you?
Callum says, that's funny, Papa One. I'm not a big fan of the metal genre.
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD.
And Papa One says, I meant to tell everyone that Lady Belle and her baby made it safe back home to North Carolina. They are healthy and happy.
Michelle
Mama
Ellis
One's
Waller?
baby, called Arthur, is growing bigger and bigger.
Suppose so.
And getting bigger. He eats good and to be continued.
Could you have a seat for me, Michelle?
I like this little kid's voice, the voice actor for this little kid.
We're gonna have a look around.
Most little kid voices in video games are kind of annoying. Like, looking at you, Jack. It's it sounds like just like an adult female, like trying to act like a little, trying to have a little kid voice. And with this one, she does sound like a 12-year-old girl. Like they actually got someone. They might have.
Elgin wristwatch.
Papa One
Over the
continues,
same
he
one
eats
snatched
good
from a
and moved fantastic. So glad he was able to be saved. It's rare to save a foal that was born with a twin. Callum says, did you find the Chancellor in the end after being
No sign of a
mistaken
wedding
2 times? Yes, we did, Callum. And this was the case that we glitched on, and I had to literally restart the game in speed mode to get back to this very
Is this about Mommy?
this very episode.
Daddy's trying to find her. Please tell me she's okay.
Mama one says, and he is staying with us forever. He's my pride and joy. I love my Arabian named Nelly, but Arthur is my baby. Callum says, I wish you could punch the ones in Saint Denis when they get cheeky with their words. You can, as far as I know, Callum. Except for the kids.
Some of your mother's jewelry
Angela
was missing.
Bronte's Street
Can you
Gang.
describe her things?
Can't do anything to them, but you can throw dynamite at them. If that makes you feel better. And they'll run away. You can also chase them and antagonize them if you are interested in getting a wanted level for harassment or disturbing the peace.
Wedding band and a matching diamond and ruby engagement ring.
She wore a watch?
Yes, the yellow gold Elgin watch. Daddy bought it for her birthday. They had a fight. It was kind of a makeup present.
Papa One says, I certainly like metal songs. I like certain metal songs, Callum, but I'm not one of those diehard fans that listen to the whole album. I may love 1 or 2 of the songs, but not enough to buy an album.
So what did you do then?
I was upset.
You know, David, who is his presence is sorely missed. I'm sure he's doing well. He likes Rob Zombie and also White Zombie. I'm not sure if you call if Rob Zombie is like metal in the same way that like Metallica is metal, but very heavy on the guitars, and you know it's horror movies, horror themed, and you know I love horror movies. That's why I like Rob Zombie.
They weren't happy, were they, Michelle? Did your father ever hit your mother?
Tony says, I turned into my old man when it comes to music. I'm now the one asking my kids, what is this? Yeah, I think the most modern music I listen to that I like, the last modern artist that I liked,
Thanks, Miss Mueller. You've been very
was
brave.
Lady Gaga.
Hey, what kid?
And
Daddy, the police are here.
Michelle. I'll talk to them.
but you know how that turned out.
Lady. She's not even out of school.
Now the
You
world
can't come in here
belongs to Lady
interrogating her
Gaga.
Like she's
Your
some
wife
kind
was
of...
found murdered this morning.
She reshaped the world with that song "Born This Way." But you know what can you do? It's catchy. She had a beautiful voice.
We have some questions that
Mom
we would
one
like
says,
to
I always
ask.
laugh when you get wanted for harassment in Saint Denis in Red Dead Online. From all the bounties there, you would think they have better things to
What
do.
size shoe do
They,
you wear, Mr.
they do
Mueller?
not, Mama One.
Why do you ask?
It's
And Callum
routine, sir.
says, that's
Simple
cool, Nico.
process of elimination.
I'd love to use them just to
Nines.
do that and possibly a Fight Club mode
Why are you lying to me,
too.
Mr. Mueller?
Papa One says, I'm a country fan.
Why would I lie?
Ernest Tubb, Loretta Lynn, and my favorite is Johnny Horton. I like Hank Williams and Johnny
What we
Cash,
found here are
classics.
size 8s. Why lie about it if you've got nothing to hide?
Because I always get teased.
But
about
you know,
the
I'm
size of my
more
feet.
rockabilly country.
You know, small feet,
Wanda
small...
Jackson,
Always been true in my experience.
Buddy Holly, of course,
You phoned in a missing persons
Roy
report this morning?
Orbison.
Yeah, that's
Mr. Maddie says, late at all, I was playing
didn't come home
Fallout
last night. She left
3.
around-
Just in time, Mr.
She
Maddie.
left around 9:30.
Greetings and happy Sunday
was
to
at a
you.
dance. She called me to
And
let me
Odok
know
says,
she was
soul for me these days.
Did your wife ever go out by herself? To bars? Nightclubs?
No. What are you suggesting? You suggesting my wife's loose? Now is not the time for you to be pushing
This,
Your daughter
my
said
friend,
you were having an
is
argument.
Hugo Moeller.
We argued about who would pick up
Very
Michelle.
German name. German
I worked a
American.
full day. I wanted to come home, put my feet up.
So you were here all night.
Callum says,
You
just in
stayed
time,
while your
Maddie.
wife went out
Hope
to
you're
pick up your
enjoying
daughter?
Fallout 3. Have you completed
Yes, that's correct.
Fallout 4?
You should come clean if you're having an affair. Or if
Papa
there's
One says,
something
I am
going
not
on.
a fan of rap at all. I do
told
not
you I was
like
here
it.
when you said
My
I
dad
was-
hated rap when it came out. My dad used to say about rap, was I've never been to hell,
why did you
but
take
I
so
can
long to answer the
imagine
phone
rap
when your
music
daughter called?
is what Satan plays down there.
Okay.
I know for a fact, Papa One,
I was
that the
driving
devil
around. It's
plays
my way
a
of relaxing.
fiddle because he came down to Georgia, your home state,
Your wife was beaten and then
and
strangled. In
challenged
your case,
someone.
you have no
I don't
alibi
remember
and a
who,
history
but
of
Charlie
violence towards your
Daniels,
wife.
perhaps.
That's not true. God damn it.
Tony Vasquez says, I listen to a lot of 90s stuff, Nirvana, Green Day. I love Oasis. Oasis is my favorite band of all time.
It is true.
Tony
Hugo.
Vasquez.
You're a violent man.
I based my
Try to
rock
keep a
and
lid
roll
on it at
career
home, and
on
sometimes
Oasis
you lost control. Your
with
daughter
a
and your
dash of
wife
the Stray
were scared of
Cats and Buddy Holly and Johnny Cash, for what it's worth.
I know about the golden butterfly, Hugo, and how you bought your wife off the last time you heard.
Mama one says, hey, Mr. Maddie.
She liked to spend money,
And
right?
Odoc says, hip hop
Dresses,
is for us,
jewelry,
if
her
you know
hair
what I
drove me
mean.
goddamn crazy. Do I look like a Rockefeller?
I know what you mean,
likes a
Odoc.
cheapskate,
And I agree.
Getting hostile with us is a very bad idea, Hugo.
And
I'm no murderer.
Make some
Mr.
arrangements
Maddie
for your
says,
daughter, and then
I
present
do
yourself to
like the
Central
show.
Station
I
for
know that
questioning.
girl's
You gotta
cute.
be
I
kidding
forget her
me,
name
Phil.
now.
Put the cuffs on him. This is an outrage. I didn't kill
I
my
didn't
wife.
finish
Your
it,
daughter is in the next room,
but
Mother,
I
so I'm
liked
giving
it
you a break.
at the
Don't make
time.
me change
And
my
you know,
mind.
I was thinking of doing a Fallout 4 playthrough on this channel, perhaps later next year.
Should go back in there and bust his ass.
One, we need to break his alibi. Check
Mr.
phone
Maddie
records.
says, howdy, folks. And
Two,
Papa one
we have
says,
motive
one of my
suspects.
favorite
Five,
songs
we'll
ever. I
probably go for
love
half the
Charlie
murder alone.
Daniels'
Three, we
fiddle.
have no evidence tying him to the crime scene.
Callum says, I like rap
Detective.
personally, especially the UK genre, like Skepta or Nux.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember DJ Shadow, Callum?
Over the radio.
And you can help us with our inquiries?
He might have been out before you were born.
Last night. I heard Mrs.
That's
Muller
kind of
scream.
depressing.
Did you see Mrs.
Tony
Muller
says,
come home
kind of like
last night,
Dutch.
Hugo?
I wasn't always an obedient
Not at
child.
all.
I think everyone
I did
in this
see Mr.
in this
Muller
chat
put something
can
in the
say that.
incinerator earlier
Tony.
this morning, though.
I told you he was our guy. Now let's get this bum downtown and into a cell.
Look, there he is now.
Papa one says, I think music is for every culture. Just some cultures.
Step away from the incinerator.
It's all variable by
Don't let
person
him
to
get
person.
away.
I've known country boys who hate country. Every man is different. You got to chase and tackle. If you do not tackle him, you're going to have to fight him. And we all know how Cole fights. Count says, I've never heard of him, Antonio, but I will definitely take a look. Yeah, he's a Brit.
This doesn't look good.
He was
Hugo.
popular in the late 90s, I
can
think. Around the
explain the
time
blood.
Moby was popular.
Get him booked in at Central.
If you remember Moby.
Put him in an interview room.
Tony Vasquez probably remembers
And inform
Moby.
the cat.
Yes, sir, detective.
Is there someone you can call, miss?
I don't. No one's home, and
You need somewhere to stay, Michelle. You have other family? Grandparents? Aunts or uncle?
call Aunt Helen, but she lives in Bakersfield.
Hey,
and-
come back
Call
here.
her. We're gonna get
She's
someone
in her
down here from
crate.
juvenile hall to talk to you in the meantime.
That's about all I have for you
Gotta get
tonight,
some
friends.
uniforms
Shout
down
out
here
to
to
the
clean up. Take
channel
care of the
members.
kid.
Count says, house music is good and garage too. It's great talking to all of you. Let's put up a driving video.
We should lay it on him. He was near the
Feel
car.
free to hang out after the chat, talk amongst yourselves, catch up. Shout out to the mods, Odog, Papa One, Callum, Mama One, Miko, absent friends Serena and Marco, and David and Chrissy. I'm not sure if we will have a stream on Monday. We'll see how I'm feeling. You know, I do tend to say that this is the easiest job in the world, and it is, but you do tend to get burned out on it. I suppose like any job. We shall return on Wednesday, however. I'm going to do an AI stream and just show you all the pictures that I've made because they're funny and I want to share them. Thanks for being here, friends. I appreciate all of you. Like and subscribe and enjoy the rest of your night. Happy Sunday and have a great week, friends. See you soon.
He's a peeper, Rusty. We can pick him up for something else.
You really want to run that risk?
All units in the vicinity in any Central unit. A 211 and shots fired 410 South Flower Street.
kill us! Hey, come on! I get the point. Not exactly the happiest of places, the coroner's office.
Carruthers is a good man, professional, diligent. If you're working with a pro, it's easy to overlook the grim realities of a place like that.
Funny job, that. The coroner's.
How so?
You don't want them enjoying their work too much. The wrong kind of man can get awfully lonely rattling around a joint full of corpses.
Rusty, that's like something out of the pulps.
You've been reading the same ones as me?
I thought you were usually too drunk to get...
Watch it, will you? If I close one eye and squint, you can just about make out the print.
Calling all cars. Citizen reports officer needs help. Shots fired. Officer down. 6th Street and Lindley Place. 6th Street and Lindley Place. Unit to handle code 3. Identify.
Slow and steady, come on! Cole, come on! Breathe. Breathe, damn it!
You're not helping. I'm surprised, I didn't make the husband for it.
Always make the husband, Phelps. 9 times out of 10, it's the closest person to the Vic who does the deed. God knows I've wanted to kill some wives in my day.
Lex parsimoniae.
What?
The law of parsimony. Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is most likely the correct one.
You could have said that without getting all liturgical on me.
I'll try to dumb things down from now on.
Appreciate it. And try this one on for size. Rusty's razor.
How's that go?
You blame the guy that's banging her.
Ah, of course. The famous Lex Ignoramus.
Closes cases, Cole. Puts a lot of people away, that one.
Any Central unit, a possible 288 at Belmont High School, 1575 West 2nd Street. Stand by for further unit to handle. Identify code 2.
11K to KGPL. We'll take the 288. Go ahead with the further.
This officer needs help. Bank of America 7th and Olive. Officer needs help. Bank of America 7th and Olive. A 211 in progress and shots fired. Unit to handle code 3. Identify.
Jesus, Phelps! Easy.
Damn.
If we survive this, it's gonna be a miracle.
Left and left and left and left again, and I'm right up your ass.
There still might be some playing the boyfriend angle.
I thought we were on our way to lock up the husband.
If he doesn't work out, that is.
Deirdre Muller has suffered enough. More than enough. You shouldn't make disparaging comments about her without even the slightest inkling of what she was like.
She was a woman, wasn't she? You know, around about my third divorce, I realized women might not be the pure angels we imagine. You're married, ain't you, Phelps?
Don't make any insinuations about my wife.
Hey, she's a woman. Calm down!
She's the mother of my children.
You're a father, Cole? But don't tell me your eye don't bend.
This conversation is over.
Any Central Unit, Car 16 Adam reports a possible jumper at 8th and Hope. The Methodist Church unit to handle code 2 identified.
Just go easy, Phelps. God, you're gonna kill us!
Full of advice, aren't you?